unaccustomed as I am to public speaking, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions first, please. So, raise your hands if you like giving. And raise your hands if you want to save the environment. You've come to the right place. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we're going to save the world in a small respect. We are going to stop any smartphones going to landfill. But before I do that, do you mind if I just say one or two words about myself? So my name is John Frost. I'm the founder of Fix My Business. I was born in London, degree at Imperial College in London. If you scratch my surface, I'm a research physicist. No jobs for research physicists, so I've been working with computers, and I've got a computer repair business that I've been running for 15 years. Then, a couple of years back, I bumped into an amazing motivational speaker called Eric Ho, who runs the H Academy. And he opened my eyes. He invited me down to an event down in London, 3-day event down in London, Business Systems Mastery. There's all these crazy people, 100 people, all wanting to get ahead, like us here. But as you've discovered, most of these events are down in London. We're trying to bring it up here. So get some activity up north. Northern Powerhouse, they're calling it. So he opened my mind to this, and then been to a few of his events. It took him 6 events for him to get me to sign up to his mentorship. But in March of 2016, I signed up to a year's mentorship, and since then things have rocketed forwards. And 1st of November launched Fix My Business. So that's why I am from physicist to firewalker. That's another story. Talk to me afterwards. So, Fix My Business is helping people grow their business, modern marketing techniques. But I felt I wanted to give something back to the community, because I get a bit funny about waste. I don't like things going to waste, and I don't like the idea of people suffering and not having education and things in the middle of nowhere. So, just open your mind. Imagine that you could give an education to all the needy children in the world. Imagine what that could do. Would that be a good thing to do? Would that be happy? And on another way, imagine all that electronic waste that's going into the ground and contaminating the water and things. Imagine what it would be like if you could stop that happening. What would the countryside be like if you could stop all the electronic waste going in there? And thirdly, can you imagine here in Britain, imagine if you could just get some youngsters that really don't get on in school. Imagine if you could give them a little bit of training so that they could get a job. So you've got 3 things to imagine there. Do you think if we could match those things together, do you think we might be onto something? So that's what this project's about. To start with the bad news, the problem is, in the UK alone, 65,000 tonnes of electronic waste goes to landfill. And obviously, it's a waste of gold and all the precious metals inside your smartphone. And obviously, we know these landfill sites, they all leak. So all the arsenic, the nasty chemicals, the cadmium, the really yucky things, the dangerous chemicals in your smartphones, they're all leaking out of the landfill into your water supply. That's not ideal either. That's that one. And we know at the moment there's lots of youngsters going through. Do we agree that the educational system here is not really fit for purpose? Yes. Do we agree that it's really designed? It seems to be designed to get someone to shut up and sit down like that and fit a round peg in a square hole to conform into an office job rather than to maximise the capability of the youngster. Now that's not really ideal. So that's the other problem we got. And the other problem is, mainly, I'm thinking of third world really, India, Kenya, Africa. You've got children there that are full of beans, but they've got no money and they've got no future, and they're missing something that could give them an opportunity. And I'm inviting you, what's that biggest opportunity that if they had could set them on a path to financial independence? Education. Spot on. So those are our three problems. Electronic waste, untrained youngsters, and children stuck in the middle of nowhere with no hope because they've got no idea. See, our minds are opened up to all the possibilities. We know that we can take over the world. What's holding these youngsters back is they've got no idea of the possibilities. So, how can we sort it out? That's the question. How can we put those three things together? Any suggestions, or would you like to know my suggestion? Okay, so the suggestion is I've set up a little good cause. Fix My Giving. I'd like you guys and everyone you know to rummage through their drawers when they get home. Look out all those unused smartphones. Get them sent to me. I will give those to the local youth organisation that deals with the disaffected young kids. They'll wipe them, data protection, wipe those phones from all data, all personal data, load them with educational material, and then they'll come back to base to be dispatched to needy causes all around the world. So a friend of mine is over in Nagpur in India, and she's dealing with a school for children that are related to the red light district, shall we say. So I'll just give you an example there. One of the girls there. So our Yasmin's popped over there, been collecting money, and actually sorted out little Angeli, 7 years old, born with clubfoot. Okay, so really discarded by the family, taken on by the local orphanage, and then Yasmin and her team got the money together to get her operations, foot sorted out, now all straightened up, now 8, 9 years old, but then stuck. What will she do next? And that's where we come in. We can get the education over there, and the clever way of doing this is that the smartphone can be loaded with all sorts of educational materials. So if you imagined a video course on a computer or a laptop, what would you, in the middle of nowhere, what sort of things would you put on, what educational materials would you put on there? Suggestions, please? For a youngster, you're really thinking about the youngsters 7 to 12 years old to start with. What would you put on there? What do they need to learn about?
Course, you know, to learn new language.
Language skills? Anything else?
Typing.
Yeah, typing skills. Any Any other suggestions? What are they going to need as they progress through? The youngsters are going to progress through and set up their own little business, look after themselves. Maths, absolutely numeracy skills, and that thing if they want to set up their own little businesses.
Confidence.
Management, self-confidence. So that's the idea. Lots of these things have got so much space. So much space, they can hold hours and hours of video. So back here in the UK, we'll load these with video courses on literacy, numeracy, business skills, English, other languages, that can set them off on the path to self-development and their own little business opportunities. Because we know that these youngsters, they're all full of beans, full of energy. They will get out there and make money once they've got those first few ideas. Collecting this, collecting that, making this, making that. So that's basically it. Fix My Giving, the idea to match the scrap phones with local expertise and the needy children over in India and Africa. That's the aim. No more phones to landfill. So Fix My Giving, call to action. Come and talk to me afterwards, and make me a nice promise that you're going to rummage through your drawers when you get home, look for all of those smartphones, and help me market it out on Facebook and stuff. So thanks very much, John Frost. Fix My Giving. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, William. So, who's got any questions for John about this
Crazy
idea?
idea.
It's not a crazy idea. This idea that he's got, I like it. I mean, give me all your smartphones, all of them. I want all your smartphones. That's the Salfordian in there. But would anybody be interested? Has anybody got any spare smartphones that they'd be able to donate?
In the drawer at home.
In the drawer at home.
Take tablets and stuff as well.
Yeah. And one of the questions that you're going to ask me is basically any smartphone we can load with the educational videos. Any other phones, yes, they'll go to recycling, so they don't go to landfill. But anything with a screen, anything with any size screen, obviously you can see that 4, 5, 6 people can see that at once. And the question you're going to ask me is, what about laptops and computers? Do I want laptops and computers? No. Can anyone think of why a laptop is not so appropriate for this idea? 2 or 3 reasons.
Portable, and so that it's
Nice and light, so all the transport is cheaper. But there's about 3 reasons why a laptop is not so appropriate as a mobile phone. I know it's a bit techie, but
It's not as portable as children can.
not as portable and light. But anything else in the laptop?
Battery.
Exactly. Number one of the problems with the laptop, they burn power. Basically, they're very power hungry. So if there's not very good electric power supply, these can charge up from solar power charger, so they don't need good mains. Anything else? What happens if you did that to a laptop? Boom! it's not ideal. The hard drive in a laptop is very sensitive to shock and dropping, so these are much more robust than a laptop.
How do people get in touch with donating the phones?
Yes,
Is there a link? Or
there will be. There is a website, fix-my-giving.co.uk, but
we'll share that in the Shave Your Destiny group.
we'll get that out, and but soon there'll be a Facebook page to go with it. But yeah, so thanks very much.
Thanks a lot, John.
Really appreciate it. Thanks, Ben.